The ability to be in a quiet space, whether that be physically or mentally, to me has been an important learning lesson that I've had to reteach myself time and time again. I put up that video yesterday and I was just like, man, how many times, I don't want to lean on this because it'll fall. How many times do I have to teach myself to be present? Do you run into that same issue? Like there's a lesson that you have to teach yourself time and time and time and time again, and you're like, what the hell? Is this gonna be a life ongoing battle? And the truth is, I think it is. I think there are certain things that each of us deal with that we just have to be taught time and time again. And that's okay because what that battle is for me might be different from you, but going after and just really putting time and attention to just dancing with it, I think is a good thing to have. As I was sitting outside on the porch again today, doing a little bit of writing, I just found myself really enjoying being an observer, listening to the birds, breathing in that fresh air, watching the mailman go house to house, and just listening, observing. And I don't do that as much as I should. I know I should do it more, and I have to be really intentional and conscious about doing that. So when I do it, it's like the best thing ever. And when I don't, it's not that I'm intentionally not, it's that I'm forgetting about the things that bring me joy. So that was the writing from today. Got some notes up here. Challenge thoughts. Folks, I've got 40 days left in the Calendar Club 365 challenge. 40 freaking days. That's wild to me. For those of you who don't know what the Calendar Club challenge is, it's a challenge I started on May 1st, 2023. And it's when I've run the number of miles equal to the day every single day for one full year. So today on the 21st, I'm about to head outside and run 21 miles. Yesterday, I ran 20 miles, and tomorrow I'll run 22. I've been doing that every month since May 1st. So that's coming to an end at the end of April. And it's just wild to think about it because I'm trying not to rob myself of the pure enjoyment of being in the moment. And that's probably in particular like why I've been so focused on presence lately, because I feel like, God, there's a piece of me that just wants this to end. Like I just want to be on the other side of this challenge where I no longer have to do it. And it's it's not that I'm not proud of myself or that I haven't enjoyed doing it. It's just been so much of the same thing for a full year, and I'm ready to explore other creative projects. I'm ready to explore other things that make me feel like I can express myself, and I feel like I'm just trapped into Calendar Club. And the challenge is less about the miles and more about the time commitment and the ability to just show up every single day. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned over these 11 months, 11 and a half, is that I now know that no matter how I feel, I can get something done. And I've proven that in this running challenge. And translating that into, man, I don't feel like editing this video. Just like getting in that process, getting in that groove, putting myself in that chair really helps to get the ball rolling. I talked about it yesterday. Like the momentum of getting started is the most powerful thing if you're looking for motivation, if you're looking for inspiration, excuse me. I don't know what happened there. Excuse me. But just being able to, like, no matter what, like, yesterday was hard for me to get out the door. A lot of days are hard for me to get out the door. And what I've realized is that I've been running for 5 years. And one might think that I've gotten the motivation part down. And I hate to break it to you, the motivation piece is a feeling. It's something that comes and goes. What I've nailed down is the discipline to just, no matter how I feel, get out and doing it anyway. Where I'm really trying to bridge that gap is not allowing my feelings to push off the activity of starting further than it needs. You know, like, uh, if earlier this week, it's part of the reason why I had a bad lift is because I didn't get to bed till late, but I got to bed late because I didn't start running until 7, and I didn't start running till 7 because from 3:30 until 7, I procrastinated getting out the door. It never gets easy, just because I started my journey of running 5 years ago. I have to restart that process every single day when I step out the door, or even before that when I have to decide to step out the door. So I think that's an important message for anybody who is starting their journey or like into their journey and they feel like, whether it's running or even journaling or editing, making YouTube videos, like, the biggest takeaway is that if you feel lost, if you feel like, why the hell am I not motivated? I thought like doing this thing would bring me motivation and satisfaction. It definitely can. It definitely has its peak moments, its highs. But ultimately, you have to be able to show up and do the thing on the days when you don't feel like doing it. I saw a clip of Michael Phelps talking about this just the other day where didn't miss getting in the water for 4 or 5 years, every single day, 365 days in a year, every single day for 5 years, he got in the pool. And he made note to say that even like the days you especially don't feel like it, it's on those days that you'll get the most out of. So just remember that. Um, Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Something in the Orange. I posted this on my other socials, but Something in the Orange by Zach Bryan. I watched that music video last April. It was the first time I heard that song. And I watched that music video and I was just like blown away. I was in awe over the way it made me feel, because it made me feel like there was this you were connected to people, like you were connected to something greater in the simplicity of people just sharing their experience with the sunset. And I wanted to do something like that with running, where people shared a clip with me, 5 seconds or less, no words, of them out on a run, or with the prompt in mind of like, this is what running means to me. So I know you can't really DM things here on YouTube, but if you follow me on Instagram, mark.dowdle, it's the same here as on YouTube. Just send me a DM with a clip of you doing that. If you want to participate, I'm going to throw all those together in a longer, just like clip, and compile them. And I think it'll be cool, So, and then, JST this morning, it was game day and I got some clips. I've already pieced them together. We're missing our fearless leader, Austin Yoakum, as he's on a business trip to California, I believe. We miss him, and it's definitely been a different vibe there over the last 2 days since he's not been there. JST practically runs itself, and we love Austin, and we know that, like, all of the work that he's done over the last fucking 5 years has gone into, like, he can completely step away and JST can self-function. Now, I don't know if that can go on more than a couple days, but I think it's a testament to the things that he's doing, who he is as a character, and all the hard work that he's put in to create an environment, a culture where he can step away and it goes on like usual. And obviously there's a missing piece for us there because we love the guy and we want him there, even if his refereeing is questionable at times. But yeah, it was just a unique thing the last 2 days of not having him there and just being able to experience how JST operates without him. I've said this before, JST is a sponsor of my running journey. And so if you're looking for a program, if you're in the Twin Cities, reach out to me, show up to game day Thursdays at 9th Street Soccer and Coffee in Mercy Holmes area. Reach out to me if you're online. If you're not able to make it here in person, then there are virtual programs that he builds out for people. I'm telling you guys, this guy is he has changed my life in lifting, but more so changed my life in character development. I look up to this dude so much and I see him as a peer, but I also see him as a role model. And I hope he doesn't watch this because he will just hate hearing that. But the reason that I am partnering with him and with Kellen at Embrace North is not necessarily because of the company. It's because of those two people. So if you want a if you want a program, the link is in my bio. Use Dowdle10 and you'll get 10% off. And that is the JST. So we got through all three things. I'm going to show you some clips as I transition outside, and yeah, I'll see you outside.
JST game day.
Oh. It's not gonna go well for you. Is that?
Such a bad sound. Niners, hit. What? D-mid. Some days are just like this where my mind completely shuts off and my legs do all the work. This happened last night. It's happening again tonight, and these 2 nights are really products of keeping true to what I said I would do from this weekend in Ely, is protect this space out here, protect my runs for me. I went through the first 3 years of running not bringing my headphones or phone, not listening to music, podcasts, audiobooks or anything. And then when I started making more consistent content and out on my runs, making content around that, the phone became way too integrated with my runs. And that slowly turned into another moment where I would scroll social media. Like I could scroll social media while running. And that turned into runs turning into walks and hello. That turned into runs turning into walks, and me more frequently getting mentally exhausted, going to the phone, just like the procrastination method that I was talking about earlier. And that's when I really noticed a problem. And when I was up in Ely this weekend, I didn't have that luxury. I had no service, and I found my voice again, and I found the mental clarity again that running provided me to begin with. The reason that I got into running and stayed into running was I was noticing this sense of accomplishment and clarity and cleansing, and I allowed the phone to get in the way of that. And being out here and using the GoPro as more of a documenting mode, you know, there's no social media interface with the GoPro. There's no social interaction. It's just me and this camera. And what has been beneficial to me is just being able to stay in it, stay out here with myself for longer, and give myself this designated space to just decompress, to let my mind go blank and just let my legs do the work. And I'm very grateful for that. I was just thinking about, I'm on my way into this reserve, this park down by the river, was the Grand Rounds Infinity Loop trail was just up above, and it reminded me of my favorite moment from that run, which was when Landon came to join us. And he was about halfway through his run with us as we were kind of bending around the south side of St. Paul up to the east side and getting over to the north side as we were making our loop. He's like, you know, I'm meeting, I think he said his grandparents, either his grandparents or his aunt and uncle, but he was meeting family at a bar called Bobbers. Not Bobbers. What was it? I'm forgetting the name of it, but he just asked, you know, have we ever heard of it? Had we ever been there? And Proctor and I had never heard of it. 10 minutes later, as we're popping off the trail into more of a urban city type of place, the first place that we see is the bar that he was talking about. And that to me was the most fun. Holy cow, look at this. Look at this. This is just gorgeous. Yeah, fishermen out there. Holy smokes. This is incredible. As we rounded that corner though and we saw that, it was just like, oh, we got somebody coming. He was listening to something. As I was saying, that to me is life. That to me is joy. That to me is, I mean, that was the most joyful moment of that run. And we, Proctor and I, ran 62.5 miles, setting the fastest known time FKT for the Grand Rounds Infinity Loop. We did it in 12.5 hours. I mean, outside of the record, outside of the miles and the accomplishment from that, the most joy that we got, that I got, was in that moment. Just a simple, just like serendipitous moment. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize about me and what I do, is no amount of running, no amount of miles, no amount of accomplishments, feats, records, times, podiums, any of that will ever be more joyful than the little serendipitous moments like that in my life. And my eyes are open to them all the time. And that to me is life. That to me is joy. That to me is why I'm not, I mean, look at this. That to me is why I'm not in a rush to jump into the next running challenge after this. Because I know that at the end of the day, no matter whether I'm going after a big goal or not, that I can always access moments of serendipity like that. I just have to be aware, keep my eyes and ears open, and just be open to life. I mean, I look at this. Like, just taking a different route today. And I come across some beauty in a little fisherman's spot. And this is joy. This is life. I don't need running to find this. Now, today I found it because I decided to get out my door and run. But it wasn't Calendar Club that necessarily got me here. It was the decision to get outside. And that is the focus of where I am trying to build projects around the running that I do. And that is like the spirit in which I believe that I'll have the most impact with running and reach the most people, just to share that, because that to me is a component of life that we all can access. So I don't know. I don't think there's much left to say after that. Like, oh my gosh. Look at this. Just goes all the way down. It's a beautiful Thursday. March Madness. Haven't watched a single game. I did fill out a bracket, but I did it like 10 minutes. It took me 10 minutes. I just picked random teams. Got UConn going all the way. We'll see how that goes. I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy your Thursday. And you can do hard things. Just remember that.